my goodness. Are you ready? I hope you are, because I am. Let's get ready for the Battle Rapport. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Battle Rapport. I am your host, HydroMan, your Slipknot fan of Battle Rap, here helping you catch up on Battle Rap. Yeah, right now, this mask right here, you see this mask? Yeah, it's temporary for right now, all right? Um, I'm retiring the one that I've been wearing for the past like 2 years, whatever. Um, I'm going to be I'm actually customizing a newer mask or whatever. So, um, next time, uh, well, actually next year, I'll be displaying it, and it's gonna be the new mask, whatever. But this is temporary, all right, people. This is just temporary. Um, so I know it's been a while. It's been a while since last time I went live. I know. You missed me, right? You missed me. You missed this beautiful face. Actually, it's the other man. Anyway, um, let's handle the niceties. Shout out to DME Detroit on Fam was good. All the other bloggers out there, except the L weirdos, you know what I mean, that got, stuff on their jackets that shouldn't be. Um, and I really hope that because I am Mr. Neutral, or I try to be. I hope that Adept, HNIC, and DME Detroit can see eye to eye. I know they're at war, you know, weird that it was like a year or it was like a year and a half ago where people were discussing online or whatever, which then led to DME and Adept. They were talking and they were like, yeah, it's so boring out here. People over here wanting us to beef or whatever. Like, we can't beef. Like, we can't even have a fake beef or whatever. And I shrugged that off as, yeah, that's funny as hell. I get it. You know what I mean? But you know, a year and a half later, we have, Adept and DME Detroit, beefing. Pause, but they're at war right now, and I don't like the fact that I've, I listen to both of them. I give them their just due. You know what I mean? And for all intent purposes, even Adept HNIC has said people are sending him videos or clips of DME Detroit saying the N-word. I am one of the few people. Now, I'm just going to just talk, real quick about this or whatever. I am one of the few that have been watching DME Detroit and Adept for 4+ years. And I'm going to be 100% frank. I'm going to be honest. DME Detroit has not said the N-word. Those are CG, those are ChatGPT or AI generated DME Detroit N-word droppings in those videos that are clipped and sent to Adept HNIC. Me personally, I have seen every one of DME Detroit's lives for all these years, since 2017. And he has not dropped the N-bomb. And those videos that are turning up on Adept's channels, it saddens me because I'm one of the few people who are that are one of the day oneers of DME Detroit's channel. He stayed with that Hollow to Dawn photo of him on top. You know what I mean? That photo that he's been since the whole channel started. You know what I mean? But I have been one of the few. Shout out to the day oneers that have been watching DME Detroit's lives and all of his uploads and stuff like that. I've watched all those lives, even the vacation lives and all that. He has not said the N-word. All right? Get it, got it good. For anybody out there saying, oh, DME Detroit, he said the N-bomb. So, whatever. He said it in tracks almost 20 years ago. And he was a rapper then. You feel me? He probably could still rap now. You never know. I could still rap. And I'm 42. But the whole thing is, if, my whole little spiel right here, I'm just gonna, say this and just leave it at that. You know what I mean? That DME Detroit has not, hear me, DME Detroit has not dropped the N-bomb. Those videos that has been shown online, they are not him. The videos are him, but the voices of the N-bomb being dropped, those specific points, are ChatGPT/AI generated and then sent to Adept. All right. And it saddens me to see Adept, you know, on the self-destructive path. You know, maybe he's not on the self-destructive path because I'm on the outside looking at the fact that, I feel that both these men are intelligent enough to squash this bullshit. Me personally, it's bullshit. I don't think I think this whole thing between Adept HNIC and DMA Detroit it shouldn't be, because these are some of the best motherfuckers out here in YouTube speaking the truth, bringing out right out there into the world about this or that or the other. When I talk about battle rap, when I talk about these other things or whatever, you know what I mean? And then, for me, especially for the past like couple years, maybe 3-4 years, I've been, I've been truly appreciating the fact that DME Detroit has been having a lot more fun on his channels. And before he was, he was pretty serious. He was a very serious guy earlier in the days. Fat, fat DME. You know what I mean? He was kind of serious back in the day. You know what I mean? But he's loosened up. You know what I mean? Hey, yo, pause. I know. Hey, yo, that's pause. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. The fact that he's grown a humorous bone. Anyway, that he is funny and he's stuck to his niche of being as funny as he is, and I like that. So stick to your guns, DME Detroit. You're doing your motherfucking thing. You know what I mean? Adept, I hope and pray that you see that DME Detroit, these videos that are being sent to you, that's not DME Detroit's voice saying the N-word. That those are people putting in ChatGPT/AI of him saying the N-word. I personally have seen those lives, and he has not said those words, said that specific word. All right. So I hope that, DME Detroit and Adept can, squash this beef. Pause. That, the war would be over soon, but it's it doesn't look like it's gonna be that, and it's sad. It saddens me. It saddens me. So enough about my whole spiel. That's, beginning, middle, end of my opinion on DME Detroit versus Adept HNIC. All right, there you go. Haha. For the whole entire, almost 8 minutes, just about like 7-8 minutes of that spiel. Hopefully you can hear me right. I'm not using my microphone. I'm using my tablet microphone. So let's get on with the show. Anyway, you already know. I really feel that, that Champion has done a lot throughout the years, but, for the past 3 years, to be honest, in my opinion, it's been very lackluster. And heading to its last year of doing Champion of the Year, probably even Wampion, Wody, Woman of the Year. I hope that continues on, though. If Champion of the Year is over with, I hope that Wody continues on. But if not, go ahead, live your life. But we in the battle rap community, we feel that we should have authenticity when it comes to, people that are going to be talking about battle rap, especially longevity wise. You know what I mean? But you know, about to be the last year that we're gonna be saying this, right? Shout out to Champion, the whole entire staff, and all that. Um, they out there pushing P, proper preparation prevents poor performance, all that jazz, all pun intended. We at the Battle Rap Poor, we have the ends. And it goes a little something like this. It's mandatory to memorize material, massively manipulate metaphors, massacre markmen maliciously to maintain motivative mightiness. And there's a part two to that. Be mindful to multitask, magnify Major Manning main lines magically, and mastermind a manifesto murder manuscript. You get it all, one shot, one kill. What's the deal? Shout out Tony Yayo. Now, let's start off with this show. Now, y'all already know. I'm about to put up the, if y'all ain't ready to see it from the title in the beginning, here we go. Boom, right? Now, I want to talk about this because I am what many would call a believer. You know, I didn't have my tinfoil in my hat, you know what I mean? But you know, it kind of, I don't really like tinfoil in my hat, but you know, you can say I'm a tinfoil hat guy. You know what I mean? I'm willing to accept that. I just feel that right now we are in an opening pause if need be. What I mean about opening is there's portals opening up all around the world. Weird. Just weird stuff. Just things opening up in the sky. All types of weird stuff. We're getting everything from cryptid accounts, like, Sasquatch and Dogman, the Jersey Devil, like, Abominable Snowman, and all types of other stuff, you know what I mean? All the way to dinosaurs emerging all around the world for some strange, crazy reason. Ice caps, maybe. An actual real life Jurassic Park island, maybe. I don't know. It's just all conspiracies, right? But no, it's just in TV, right? It's just TV. It's not real. There's nothing real. But there are things that's happening in this world that have you opening your mind to the possibilities because, yeah, we do live in a CGI world, stuff like that. But there are people out there taking real photos of real accounts of stuff that we're not really understanding unless we open our minds to the possibilities that we are not the only entities in this world, in this universe, in this galaxy, in this universe. You know what I mean? Now, why would I reference all these things? Because there are too many things that we are pushing to the side without fully explaining any of all these details. Yes, there is a military project that was leaked out years ago. I think it's called Project Bluebeam. I have to look it up. I there's so many different projects, right? It's crazy. So many different government projects, but I believe it's Project Bluebeam, where it's referenced that there will be a secret alien invasion, or should I say that it is going to be a predominant public alien invasion, but that it's going to be faked. Like it's going to be hologram and all this other stuff. Now, I do believe that is true. Because if the government or these agencies were actually working on these things and putting money, hundreds of millions into billions of dollars into these things, that somewhere along the line, there's a seed of truth in it. Somewhere, something about that is true. So I do believe that. But I also believe that aliens are real. That there has been a secret invasion for thousands of years, maybe even over a millennia, going into the millions of years and all that other stuff, right? I personally feel that the new drones that are being shown all through New Jersey, me being a resident of New Jersey, it just, it harks to um some photos that I threw on Facebook. You can check the Facebook, the Richard Battle Rapport, um on Facebook. I was gonna throw some of those pictures on Instagram, but then I ended up putting them on Facebook, photo dump, all that other stuff. And basically I wanted to put together um a video, what I mean, with all the pictures and da 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 da. But I'm like, you know what? Let me do is throw it all there. There were some UFOs that I caught pictures of in Patterson, where I live, over where Garrett Mountain is. And it's weird that it's almost a year plus later, and now we're flooded with drones suspected as UAPs of some sort of one another. Now, I know that there is some weird stuff that the human body can take, what, the mass G's of 9 G's or something like that. But a lot of these drones or UAPs go way faster than, certain Mach speeds, that if we were in those vehicles, in those spacecrafts, in those drones, that if we were going as fast as they were going, and there was no inertial dampeners, no zero gravity in the craft, that our bodies would be mush, would be like jello, would be like liquid. We would just why? Because our bodies cannot take more than a certain amount of Mach speed, or a certain amount of G's. You feel me? What was it, 9 G's we could take, something like that? We can't go further than that. And these drones or UAPs most likely go so fast, to the point that if we were in those vehicles or spacecrafts or drones, that we would be mush as fast as they're going. It's crazy. Now, I believe that we have been seeing UAPs, whether manned or unmanned, or alien controlled or non-alien controlled. Anyway, I personally believe that it could be either of the two. It could be, either one of the two, which could be either an entity controlling it from the inside of the vehicle or the spacecraft or drones, or it can actually be remote controlled or mentally controlled, because we've been finding out, especially recently in the past 10, 20 plus years, that there has been experiments with humans and telekinesis. Telekinesis is being able to move things with your mind. So there's been some weird stuff about that, that's been slowly coming out, drip, 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 as far as, drip, drip, drip from the faucet of leaks, or information being declassified and being open to the public, that they have been studying this for quite a long time, maybe even from the 40s and 50s. Take note. And the fact that these supposed drones or spacecraft, UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, that either we are controlling them, or we're manning them, or aliens are controlling them, or inside the crafts manually moving them about. I personally feel it could be either or. You know what I mean? And the fact that it could be us, United States, or just human beings in general, right? There's too many incidences where there are spacecraft of unknown origin coming out of the seas and oceans, USOs, underground, unidentified submersible objects. Unidentified submersible objects. Gotta get that water. Gotta get that water. But like I was saying, there's too many instances where spacecraft are coming out of the water, coming out of rock formations and all types of stuff, hovering over live volcanoes, and you know, there's video footage even of UFOs or UAPs over oceans sucking up water into their spacecraft. Like, there's too many instances where it's not us likely to be doing these things. Because why do we need to suck up water? We have plenty of it everywhere. Why the fuck do we? That's a whole different entity. Those are not humans. And if they are humans, they're, way different evolved than us. And probably from a different dimension or different time. It's so many different things. But that's the thing. If there are all these UAPs in so many places in the world, and there's no true explanation for them, but the fact that they are not controlled by us, and that we're trying to control them, we're trying to take them down, we're trying to reverse engineer, we're trying to cover up so that we could. I swear there's too many cover-ups. There's too many stories of cover-ups. There's too many stories of government agents threatening people throughout the years, from the 40s, 50s, all the way up until now, trying to subdue the fact that we, the people, public people, that are actually finding these things out, or seeing this, taping this, recording this, telling the people that, then we are the ones that are wrong for even saying anything. But it harkens back to the days of, let the people know or not. Should they be a privy to this information that we have, and we got this top classified, so on and so forth, that should we just let the public? So I do understand certain things, but I don't at the same time, because information is key. If we, the public, knew, right, the truth, and the government was telling us the truth, there would be the transparency of the government, of officials, people in high power positions, and the public. And that we would be able to, if something would go down, that we would be able to unite, that we would be able to help each other and defend, just in case these outside sources try to eliminate the United States. And I'm just talking about the United States. I'm not talking about worldwide yet. When we get into the worldwide, that's when now we're it's not just the United States being, the United States government and people in position and high power, whatever, being transparent with Joe Schmo public, but it's the whole world being able to open their books, be transparent within all governments, within all people, so that if something did go down, we would be able, as a people on earth, to be able to hold the damn barrier, hold that shield of protection for our world, because this is our world, not the externals that trying to, entities or anybody else trying to, you know what I mean? But there's so much division. It's hard. No pause needed. There is so much division in our country, let alone the world, that it doesn't seem likely that such an optimistic view would be possible. But it can be possible. The only way it can be possible is if We communicate with each other, public and the higher officials, everybody else, that we all are transparent, that we speak about this and we talk about it, not just hold information to ourselves. You have a top classification of this, so on and so forth. You got the same as me, so yeah, so on and so forth. But everybody else underneath us, they don't got to be a privy to our information, which I think that creates a division. That division that will be dividing people to be conquered by those who want to conquer. You feel me? Like it all is it's a decline of our evolutional stages. You hold information back and only give me small leaked stuff that you want me to know, not what we're supposed to know. We're never going to evolve like that. We're never going to evolve like that. If anything, it'll be like Super Mario Brothers movie. You know what I mean? Hit him with the de-evolve gun. De-evolve. Cretaceous. You know what I mean? Now, then de-evolved into the Cretaceous stage. You know what I mean? Do we need that? No, we don't. We need to evolve. Evolve as a species. The only way we're going to do that is to unite. Crash down all these divisions of wealth, divisions of societal standings, and all that. That's the only way we're going to survive. Dealing with supposed drones or these UAPs that's all over New Jersey. Now, I'm going to be honest, right? When I was reading some of these articles, like, I'm from Passaic County. You know what I mean? I'm from Patterson. I was at work when this was happening. So I'm hearing all this stuff, whatever, this, that, and the other. And then I'm actually going through the articles. And there are news reports everywhere, videos, like 30-second videos, 3, 4, 5-minute videos, and blah, 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 from different news outlets and stuff like that. I was reading. And they were saying stuff like, drones have been reported above critical infrastructure such as water reservoirs, electric transformer lines, rail stations, police departments, and military installations, 911 calling centers, and all types of weird stuff. Now, I'm going to be honest, right? When I read some of these things, it kind of reminded me of what we would see in movies, what we would see in television shows, right before a motherfucking invasion, right before the fucking aliens come and they show they shit, and we either motherfucking throw it up, or we just fucking submit. And I'm gonna be honest, we as human beings, we are not likely to submit. But we do have a submission gene in our thing. That's why there was such thing as slavery, which I fucking hate, because I don't believe any form of slavery should be. But I do understand, yeah, you need workers and this, that, and the other. That's what paying in a job is. There's no slaves that are getting their ass whooped and all this just to build a pyramid or build that or do. But there is a lot of submissive traits in society. Besides a bunch of alphas and all this other stuff. Yeah, I get it. But we don't always have to fucking submit to a bunch of motherfucking shit. You can stand your motherfucking ground and say what you want to say. Be how you gonna be. And that's it. Let me see something. Hold on. All right, we good. But I personally do not feel that because there was such things as slavery and stuff like that, that we can't be able to fight back against some bullshit like some fucking aliens. Like, yo, I don't want to fucking deal with no aliens. But you know what? I would be stupid, dumb, and ignorant to think humans are the only smart, intelligent species ever in the whole entire galaxy, in the whole entire universe. I think we'll be dumb idiots to think that. Because just think, to this day, we still don't know why Stonehenge was put together. We know that there's astrological, celestial stuff that comes with it, as far as the solstice and the sun rotating around and we rotating around the sun. All that other stuff is tied with Stonehenge, but we still don't know who built it, why it was built. We know the astrological stuff, you know what I mean? But we don't know why and who built them and how long have they been there. Oh, we could carbon date, but we've gotten different carbon dates from each one of the rocks and several different years, several different thousands of years between the rocks and all types of stuff. And it's weird. And then they were quarried miles away. It's ridiculous. Or even how the pyramids were built, which still is debated still to this day. Was it a spiral staircase that they put it up and so on and so forth? There are like hundreds of thousands to millions of stones in Egypt, and they were not just, brought up a walkway just to be putting up. How did I get into this whole slavery thing? It's the reason why I got into the slavery thing is because of the simple fact, if they're aliens, right? And they are actually coming to invade our world, how the fuck are we going to survive? There was a fucking video just a few days ago of a UFO or UAPs that that did like a EMP type of a pulse or whatever, EMP, electromagnetic pulse, right? That it shut down like half a city or something like that. And then the guy got his phone back on. And he's over here like, yeah, I just got my phone back on, so on and so forth. That thing right there, like the UFO, so on and so forth. It did like some EMP thing or whatever, or something like that. And then something came down there and da 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 da. I'm gonna tell you now, right? I think there's too many occurrences that's been happening in the past 5, 10 to 15, 20 plus years that we would be stupid and ignorant to think that we're the only smart, intelligent species out here. You don't think for a second some entities that think they're greater than us, more intelligent, more technologically advanced, you don't think that if they got a chance to rule a whole entire world, that they wouldn't do it? All it takes is one evil seed, one rotten apple spoils the bunch, right? What do you think is going to happen to us? We are going to be slaves to them. We'll literally be a fucking prison planet doing whatever the fuck that the overlord fucking aliens want us to do and shit. Already there's fucking speculation that there's a prison on the moon. Reason why there's people making stories about, colonies out there in space and this, that, and the other, television, either cartoons, animes, or actually television shows, or movies, or actual video games that, talk about, having slaves on planets or moons, digging up, ore, you know what I mean? And, elements and stuff like that. Do you really think that if these motherfuckers came down, that we'll be able to stop them? Do we have the technology to stop them? Yeah, we got nukes, but there's too many instances throughout the decades of accounts of military bases that have nukes that were shut down or that were turned on, then turned off. It was almost like they, the aliens got the codes to the nukes. Football, but got the codes to the nukes to be able to just, manipulate them and turn it on. Oh, I'm about to shoot the nukes. Ah, I'm gonna shut them off. Ha 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 ha. You can't do nothing. Ha ha ha. Y'all built this, but we can control it. Ha ha ha. Because we have the better technology. Ha ha ha. So on and so forth. They've been doing that for decades. Those accounts are real. Every time there's a UFO near a military base or whatever, there's always some electronic problems. There's always something going on and some sort of threat or imminent threat. That's another thing that I was reading here too, right? While we're currently having no evidence or information to indicate these drones pose any imminent threat at this time, their presence appears nefarious in nature. There are too many specific words that are in these articles. This is just one of the articles. I've read at least like 5, maybe more. Not watching the videos. I'm literally reading articles, trying to get information from people, not just, the newscasters or this, that, and the other. Actual people that are out there talking to everybody else and trying to get the word out there. Oh, I saw this and this, that, and the other, so on and so forth. Like, there's too many occurrences right now that we cannot knock that down. It's one and two. No, there's too many coincidences too. How can you say that we're alone in this universe? We cannot say that at all. Just think about it. I said it in my Instagram, at the Bad Rapport on Instagram, where I initialized doing open discussion on my Instagram. And I brought it here to YouTube live because I feel like doing something different. As you see with the temporary mask right now. I don't think, because I've stated this before, I don't think that we are the only species. Let's put it like that, right? Let's just put it like that for right now. How many species of spiders are there? Go to one of my episodes on Instagram, Open Discussion, and I talk about all of my crazy stuff as far as UFOs and all other stuff that I like to talk about. Conspiracies too, you know what I mean? Now, I personally feel there are thousands. What was it? I think it was 29,000, something like that. I forgot, but I gotta look it up, or just go to one of my episodes on Instagram. There's tens of thousands of different species of spiders, but only one human. Uh, okay. Let me think of how many species of lizards are there? Yeah, it's a lot of them, but only one human. Okay. Let me think. You know what? How about this? How about all through century, we have found evidence of Lucy. Lucy is millions and millions of years old. She was walking on 2 legs. She was a she was a a hominid, a human-like person, millions of years ago. Millions of years removed from where we are now, Homo sapien, Homo sapiens sapien, whatever I want to call it. But she was one of the oldest, right along with the Iceman, who was another one of those that was around hundreds of thousands to millions of years ago. We are finding bones, skeletons, skulls, all that have shown that there are and have been different types of hominids, human-like people, walking this earth for millions of years. But yet, there's only one human, one Homo sapien, right? Anyway, what am I getting to with this? It's easy. Those creatures, those entities that are in those spacecrafts, UAPs or drones, they are from other worlds. They are from different dimensions. They are somewhere not from Earth. You don't think for a second that if they had the chance to wipe us out so that they can have what they want on this earth, that they can do that? If they're able to travel millions of fucking light years from GX23, all the way the fuck out there, and space out there way far away from where we at, and they can get over here, the technology that they have is advanced, more advanced than us. The fact of their mental capacity to be able to do these things and reach here, make these spacecraft, survive in space and make it to a whole nother fucking planet, all the way in the opposite side of the motherfucking galaxy or universe. You don't think that they're gonna be so technologically advanced that they can't wipe us out if they wanted to? Hell yeah, they'll wipe us out, and we ain't got nothing to be able to stop them. Unless we unleash a nuke, but that's debatable still to this day. And then, whispers and stuff like that is the Galactic Federation that we should get rid of our nukes, but how are we going to be able to defend our planet if any negative or malevolent, right? Malevolent or malevolent? But anyway, what are we going to do if such entities from another galaxy come over here with malice intent? How are we going to be able to survive? We could be food to them. Literal food to them. This shit got me stressed the fuck out. And I gotta go to work tomorrow. Damn it. My God. I guess it's some time for this. Sorry for noise of the fan in the background. Oh, my bad. This is a cigarette. I rolled tobacco in this cigar. All right. This is just a cigarette. All right. It's just a cigarette. Let me remind y'all, it's just a cigarette. What am I talking about? I'm in New Jersey. Weed is legal. Y'all don't care. Anyway, I'm having fun out here in these battle rap YouTube streets. Damn. It's been a long time saying that. Me personally, I don't think those drones are little fucking drones. Because there are a lot of drones that can, they could be up there for a little bit, but can't be up there for however long that they've been up there and not making any noise and just being in peculiar places. But these peculiar places are literally some of the same things that have been hinted, or certain things have happened throughout time. And it just seems like slowly but surely we getting more of that information coming out. And I think disclosure isn't that far away. Shit, other countries are opening up their UFO files, declassifying all those shits, comparing and cross-referencing other countries. Like, damn, that's been happening in your country? Damn, almost the exact shit was happening in my country. Yo, let me see your shit. You show my, oh my God, what? And they're literally, that's been happening as readily, steadily, and readily in the past 5 to 10 years. Do you think that now is the time to be pushing aside the fact that we're we're not alone? Like, do you think for a second movies, television shows, cartoons, that those ain't inspired by some shit? Some real shit? It's already been told out there and hinted. Well, it was hinted and then fully told by an actual government agent, um, former government agent, that there is multiple instances in history where, you know, cover-ups have happened, people have been told stuff, people haven't been told stuff, people were told stuff, then threatened not to say anything because whatever, most likely sign NDAs, all types of stuff. But there's one instant, right? One instant back in the day that had me question a lot of this UFO stuff. It was one day I was like, I was doing my normal driving, you know, working Lyft, picking people up, dropping them off. There was this one instant, right? Instance with my GPS was doing some funky stuff. Now, my GPS never really did anything weird. Always had to update it every like month or two. Like half the time I would forget. But there was this one instance. I was dropping off somebody in New York, right? I was driving back over the GW, George Washington Bridge. We just call it the GW. And we were going over the GWB, right? I, by myself, in my vehicle, finished dropping off the person in Radio City Music Hall. And when I was driving back, I'm going over the George Washington Bridge, right? While I'm going over the bridge, my damn GPS starts acting a fucking fool. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but it's like my cursor, my cursor that's showing that I'm on the road, the arrow, your vehicle, whatever, it was showing that I'm on the bridge and it's being pulled all the way off the bridge and is like shooting like 35, 40 degrees or 90 degrees, something like that, all the way over here off the side of the bridge. But it's pulling it like, here's the whole bridge, right? Here's the bridge. I'm on the right side. Left side's going this way, so on and so forth, right? I'm on the bridge, and my cursor is showing that it's being pulled, and it's like towards the bay, the shoreline, a little bit away from the shoreline of Fort Lee or Edgewater Township, which is basically what you're getting into when you're driving back from New York into New Jersey. That's the first city, Fort Lee. Like right by the shoreline, a little before the shoreline, that's where it was pulling my cursor. Just some weird. It was fucking weird. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? This never happened. It'll do other stuff like, delay, but it never did that. So I'm driving and I'm like, what the hell? So I um I turned down the music, right? I turned down the music because I was bumping the music. I'm, coming home, about to go home, about to chill, so on and so forth. I'm done with my night. And while this is happening, I saw the GPS and I'm like, what the hell? So I turned down the music. I'm like, what the hell? So I look in the side. I look in the water. Nothing in the water. It's like literally the cursor's pointing me in the shoreline, all this water, the Hudson River, like 100, maybe 200 feet away from the shoreline, right? Still, but a lot of fucking, it's nearly in the middle of the water, right? Right by the shoreline. There's nothing there. And then I look again, and I'm like, what the hell? Because the cursor is still pointing over there, and then it stops. So the bridge is here. My cursor is all the way the fuck over here. So then I look up, and what the fuck do I see? I see a fucking cloud. This was fucking 4 years before the movie. Damn, I forgot the name of the movie. Look Up, I think. Not Look Up. I forgot. It was a Jordan Peele movie. I saw it. But it was a spacecraft that was hidden in a cloud, or the cloud was the spacecraft, and then it morphed into the spacecraft. Some weird stuff. Anyway, that's what I saw. I saw a fucking cloud. It was smaller cloud, but it was a cloud just hanging there, just chilling. And it wasn't like it was with the other clouds. It was just like separate. And then like right before I got no, it was right after I went over the bridge, was in Fort Lee, that by the time I turned and got into the exit, turned around to, then next thing you know, my cursor's back. It's showing I'm back on the road, so on and so forth. And it just, the day went on. But that day, like, don't get me wrong, I believed in aliens and all this stuff. I had my suspicions of so on and so forth. So I kind of felt like, yeah, maybe there are, uh, uh, maybe there are a lot of UAPs or UFOs that is ours. You know what I mean? That we've reverse engineered, or the government has reverse engineered. But I, not saying that I didn't believe aliens, but I just never had the experience of like something otherworldly might have just happened. And if I don't notice this, or if I don't pay attention, it can be gone in an instant that, yo, this happened, right? You don't know, like, you ain't pay attention. So that day, I was like, huh. And then while I'm driving, I'm like, yo, that could have been a UFO hiding as a cloud. The things that I had heard before, some stories of people, seeing a cloud turning, and or there's a UFO that went into a cloud, or got out of a cloud, and all types of stuff, right? It's all This is all through so many reports throughout the decades, especially more frequent since the 80s and 90s. Want to talk about the Roswell event? That will be another episode. But that Roswell event spawned so much for our country in understanding that there can possibly be otherworldly shit out there. Crazy thing is that spawned a lot of alien movies. Oh, but there was like some type of alien movies before then, and blah 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 blah. Not to the frequent, you know what I mean? Not to the frequent point of not one film company, but two film companies, but three, but almost all these other film companies are doing alien movies. There's a thing about that. And like I said, I think that all stems from some type of military connection or some type of government connection. As I've seen with the Congress, um, the people that have stepped up and have testified in Congress both times. Well, actually more, but in the most recent, in this year alone, former government people, former uh, 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 Air Force people, former this, that, and the other, so on and so forth. People that were in the shit, people that were in and around, people that were like right next to, and all this stuff, to the point where now are we the ones in the air? Are the other people in the other countries in the air? Or is it one of them from up there? Or is it one of them from down there? You know what I mean? And we talking about down there, I'm talking about the, under the water or inner earth. There's always that theory too. But, is there an actual sun in our planet, within our planet, in our crust that would be able to do that? That is way out of there. But I do understand that there are huge cavernous caves, huge tunnels throughout our world. I do know that. Whether they hold things that we don't know, hey, we'll never know until we actually go down there and discover. Though there have been reports, and I had my episode on Admiral Richard Byrd, and that was on Instagram. I talked about that. Antarctica, it's a real creepy place, and it's cold. Imagine, there you go. If those drones or UAPs that are in New Jersey and around the world, if they could be able to sit there with their technology that they have and just basically be observing us. Do you think that we could hack into their shit and be able to see what they, read what? No, we don't have. But here we go. What has been sold to the general public, you know, cell phones, computers, what the government official fucking computers and all that stuff, they are way more advanced. So I would assume maybe they could, or maybe it can't. The whole fact of we don't know their frequency. You know what I mean? We don't know their code to break into their system so that we can, you know what I mean? That's what I'll be imagining. I'm not a hacker. You know what I mean? But I'm just thinking like, yo, what if like the best motherfuckers out there in the world could be able to fucking hack through their systems and, you know what I mean? That would be fucking awesome. But here's the thing. We the public ain't ever gonna know about that. And that's the sad thing. Because if there's some shit like, yo, there's an actual imminent threat that could be on New Jersey, because these shit, what other places are under the same surveillance or imminent threat of some sort? We have no idea about this shit. But I tell you one thing, there's one thing I will say. If these things are actually real fucking UFOs, real UAPs, aliens, different entities, interdimensional beings, whatever, we most likely are going to be looked at as ants to them. That's a sad thing, because we feel that we grown, but we are still babies as a species. We're still babies as human beings. We're limited to 120, 125 years. We don't live further than that. And that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. But if we only have 120, 125 years of life from birth to the end, what type of differences are we going to be able to make to be able to evolve our species forward, not be turned into machines, you know, because machines have no emotions. They're just machines. Program it. It does what it does what you will say. We are fucking ants to any of those things that are any of those entities out there. We have no idea what their capabilities are, this, that, and the other. But they know everything that we. That's another thing. I think they don't heavily interact with us in, you know, out there for the people to see and shit like that too much. Because I think they're all, all doing their shit secret. I think all those aliens know how to move without leaving a print. But yet can still be visible in so many different spectrums of light. Still. Sometimes you'll see some shit like what happened in New Mexico a couple years ago. That was a scary sight because they were talking about, aliens had crash landed and one of them was in their backyard. And that ended up being some crazy mystery in itself. But could we be able, as a species, as human beings, could we be able to maintain our sanity and be able to make a resolution to whatever is going to arrive? Because could you imagine for a second, plug this up before it dies. But do you think for a second we have everything in our disposal to be able to protect our planet? And or if an actual species came to our planet, an alien species, interdimensional being, whatever it is, Anunnaki, giants, whatever, do you think that we would be able to have the mental capacity to understand that by that time when we're having a meeting, that they are from a different planet? And okay, you understand this, so on and so forth. Do you have the mental capacity, the testicular fortitude? You have the balls to be able to sit there and have a full conversation of trying to understand why they're here and that we want peace. We don't want warfare. We don't want to be enslaved. We don't want to we don't want our planet to be terraformed to adjust to them. And can you sit there and have a full conversation with a whole different entity, whole different being, and be able to have a straight conversation? Can you? I don't. I think that's what it is. I think the desensitization through movies did maybe 1%. I don't know. But there's too many people that do believe that aliens are real. There's a lot of people that do believe aliens are real. It's not charging. Wow. I'll check that in a little bit. Hold on a sec. Make sure that the wire is charging this. Charge it, baby. Charge it to the game. Duh. Have the wire off. The plug. Damn it. There we go. Now it's charging. Outburst. I apologize for my outburst. But let's get back to it. I personally think that there's too many questions. I think we might have a lot of the answers because there's a lot of stuff that's out, but still there's, having those answers still leads to more questions. So you might have 10,000 questions and have, 10,000 questions answered, but then have a million more after those 10,000 questions are answered. So it's one of those, like, if you want to know, just know that you're getting into a, rabbit hole. Pause. Hey, yo, I apologize for my outburst and my unprofessionalism. I apologize. But yeah, I think that if that's something that you want to know, want to learn, want to get some, just know that, sometimes there's some answers that you don't want to know, and by the time you do know, it's too late. So always think, do I really want to know about this fully? Do I want to get deeper? Pause. Got to make that decision. You know what I mean? Uh, this alien UAP stuff that, for many years, there's too many outlets. There's too many documentaries. There's too many coincidental things with movies and shows relating to certain things, either predicting or outright almost like imitating. Can we be able to really see beyond the fact that we're not alone so that we can have an open discussion and it not lead to warfare and it not lead to, enslavement, terraforming our planet, like, I like our planet as it is, I don't, we have our cold spots, we have our hot spots, you know what I mean? That's how it is, you know what I mean? We got our mid spots, you know what I mean? Temperatured spots, so it gets, four seasons and stuff like that. And like, you have places that are ice cold all year round. You're like, you have your spots, you know what I mean? I'm cool with how the world is. You feel me? I would like for there to be more peace, but that'll be a no whole nother talk for another time. But basically, that's what kind of what this episode has really been about, because having an open discussion about just about anything, as long as we can be able to, you know, have have a talk, talk about a problem, and then while we're talking about this problem, we all come up with a solution. And I think that's the way we as humans, our species, is going to evolve, to be able to, you know, be transparent. Like I was saying earlier, hey, there you go. Word of the day, transparency. As long as you keep transparency with the governments and the people, the public, these agencies and the public, as long as there's a transparency within country to country, that we'll be able to see eye to eye, that we'll be able to have these talks, have these open discussions, have these conversations to try to see that, if there's a problem, that we can come up with a solution, that we don't have to sit and complain, argue, that we can speak our halves. You say that, and that there's a solution that comes up that ends up being amicable, that then there isn't no eternal earthly enslavement, of a whole entire species, and then, half the planet's wiped out of all its creatures because, they're needed as food for, a whole nother planet. And please, we're good. Any aliens watching this? We're good, man. We're good. You know, we're good. I think if we if we see these television shows, right, and we can see that sometimes, yeah, there's certain races that war driven, nothing but war driven. We could understand how maybe you won't be able to stop them, or be able to create some peace talks with them because they are war driven, completely war driven. Could be a completely war driven race. We have seen that with so many different shows. Star Trek, as one of them, has shown, and boy, it can get messy. Um, but if we can be able, as a species, be able to unite and have some type of understanding across the table, that transparency within all countries and all races, all colors, all ethnicities, all sexes, all races, everybody across the whole planet, if we can be able to unite, see eye to eye, what makes us think we cannot be able to hold our planet down when it come down to it? I think we can. I know we can. We just all have to have that optimistic point of view, or try to have that optimistic point of view, that we can have that future that we can look at and be like, if anything comes down the pipe, pause. If anything comes, into our lives, that we can be able to be able to evolve, to be able to move forward, to have that mental capacity to, move forward instead of, holding oneself back, stunting oneself back from growing and evolving, and help everybody else by trying to move forward and be that evolution, that next, or try to be that bloodline that tries to continue that optimistic point of view, that peaceful type of point of view, that willing to have an open discussion type of point of view, bring that to the future. So that continues on and on and on to the point that maybe 100 years from now, maybe we're nuclear free. Maybe we could be nuclear free in 100 years. You know what I mean? And not only nuclear free, but a more peaceful race, a more guns down type of race. We're a guns up type of race. That's what it's looking like. How many wars have we been in? And the threat of another war, besides the other wars that's going on out there right now, lives are being lost. But it does not mean that we cannot make a better fucking future for our children, for our grandkids, for the future. If we can't make a better future for the future, then what the fuck are we here? Why the fuck are we here? Why the fuck are we here? If we can't give that future the future that they deserve, so that they can make a better future for the future. You know what I mean? Continue that forward. That's that positive, optimistic view. And it's fucking hard nowadays when there's such a negative point of view everywhere. We have social media, we have YouTubers, we have influencers, and it's tough when you're trying to be an honest motherfucker, and the motherfuckers that reign end up being some nasty motherfuckers. It'll be like that's why I stick to my guns, and the people that I feel are smart and intelligent enough to be able to have that mental capacity, to have that transparency, yo. And it's tough nowadays when there's a lot of people that be faking the phone, and that's hard. You know, I miss my little brother. I miss my mom. I miss my stepfather. I miss a lot of people that we lost. And it's hard for, me to just sit here and be like, yo, you got to be like this and you got to be like that. I think that we can be better. This is how I always try to do my thing for a long time. I want to be better than what I was yesterday. So I'm going to try and be better than yesterday. So tomorrow, I'm going to be better than today. And then the next, you know what I mean? Now I feel like I'm speaking like Murder Move, not complete in a certain sense. I'm like, whatever, I'm a little scatterbrained, but there's a lot that we as a species can do to evolve, yo. Shit, I should name this episode Evolve, but yeah, I didn't think I was gonna get into that spiel of getting into the peace talk, but you know, there's so much division in our world. There's so much division, and it's hard. It's really hard to see the division, how it's crumbling everybody, how it's like certain people could be like on top of the world saying this, that, and the other, but then it's sad. It's sad. You can only sit there and believe what you want to believe. Word. All right, cool. But don't believe in the wrong thing. Don't try to believe in the wrong thing. Try to follow the right. You know what I mean? Like there was a person back in the day, right? I had an issue with, and I talked to them like it was like 10 years later, whatever. We were cool. We didn't have an issue afterwards. Like it was no problem. Like it was like whatever, whatever that back there. That was it. It's like whatever, whatever. That was whatever back then. You know what I mean? It ain't what it is now. So I understand. If if you don't, if you ain't feeling motherfucker, if you ain't, like, if you ain't cool with somebody or whatever, or if you know somebody that ain't cool with somebody, you ain't gonna be cool with that motherfucker. You know how it is. So I understand. So it doesn't mean that old grudges can stay grudges forever. All that stuff, holding shit for spite, all that shit. It's never good to hold that shit. That shit destroys you. Like a species would be destroyed by not evolving. You who are watching, you're seeing you're hearing the fact that everything in this world is more mysterious because we don't have all the answers. And like I said before, by the time we get all those answers, we're gonna have a million more. So you can sit there and be like, yo, I got 10,000 questions. But if you get all 10,000 of those questions answered, you're going to have a million more because there's so much that were in those 10,000 questions. You know what I mean? In those questions that you asked, there was so much that you put in. Pause. There was so much information that was gathered for those questions. And you move forward. How much more can a person say evolve than this basically this whole episode? I personally have been evolving in my own. I've been trying to be a better man, a better person, better heart, mind, body, soul, all that. And it's a day by day thing. It's gonna be sometimes you're gonna have your rough days. Some days you can just have a really good fucking day. But you're always gonna have either whatever. You are gonna be the deciding factor in whatever that ends up being. It can be the worst or it can be the best. It's what you put it. All back to the evolution with a positive mindset, that 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 optimistic view of being able to see your goal and try to achieve it. We'll try and make a goal at least. You know how many times people like would set a goal and they failed plenty of times and just didn't put no goals up afterwards? It's happened before. It can happen again. Or train yourself to break that. It's simple as that. Damn, I ain't do this today. Fuck, you know what? I'm gonna hold it for another day. But you still don't do it, you know what I mean? And then one day turns into two, turns to the whole week. Next thing you know, it's 2 weeks out, and you're like, damn, why do I feel like this? Because you just, wasted away the time that you were really supposed to be focusing on what you wanted to focus on in the beginning. Yo, uh, I work until this time, so I got maybe about an hour or so I can be able to do this, and then I can go ahead, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Cool. Then you already know. You're that's a routine that you put together. It takes what, 14 days, 2 weeks to adjust, to adapt. And if that is that, then that's part of our evolution. Utilize that 14 days, that 2 weeks to adjust. Like, yo, I got to get up 5 in the morning for this new job. Got to be there at 6. All right. It's going to take 2 weeks for your body to adjust to the fact that now, when right before that alarm even goes off, you're getting up. And that's how it is. Oh, it's hard to type fast. All right. Take a course or, learn if you know the technique, try to adjust to do it faster and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Even if you have to take a course or not, whatever. Like whatever it is that you want to do, adapt to it. That's what will cause the evolution in your body, in your soul, in your mind. You know what I mean? And that's on like some real shit. You know what I mean? You do this because you want to do it, not to show off. Not I did this, so did this, so on and so forth. Like sometimes I'll do that. Like I'll brag, whatever, so on and so forth. I did 100 dips, in like 3 minutes and whatever seconds or whatever, like ha, whatever. But it's not. That's showing off. What you want to do is do what you feel like doing, and do it even when no one's looking. You know what I mean? You have to be confident in yourself to be able to know that you can adapt in this world, that you can adapt as a person. And if you know this, you can move on. There's so much you can do. You can grow from that. And you can influence other people. That could be allergic. And people catch on to that. Damn, yo, why is he like this? So on and so forth. You find out, so on and so forth, he's been this, he's been that. Oh, damn. So you've been doing that word? Wow, like so different, bro. Like, shit, I need to get on what you on and shit. Pause. But you feel what I'm saying. Come to find out, oh, they've been working out, they've been, doing yoga and whatever. And it's like, damn, they look better than me right now. You know what I mean? Maybe I need to go, do some yoga, take the, some karate, do some powerlifting, whatever. And that, you know what I mean? That'll be influential to a next motherfucker that feel like, damn, that made him feel happy. That made him find a new girlfriend and is happier than ever. And you know what I mean? That made him into a better worker when he's at his job and so on and so forth. That made him more closer to his family and so on and so forth. Then that's something that I want to feel. That's what I want to do. Ooh, I like that, so on and so forth. Like, yo, that is mad, yo. And then they start working on themselves and they're like, all right, well, he does the this, that, and the other. I like motorcycles, so I'm gonna be getting my bike, back together, and you know what I mean, so and so, you know what I mean, get back on the road, this, so on and so forth. So to have that be one of those positive outtakes of looking at a person, seeing that they are actually in a better state of mind, body, soul, spirit, all that, and it shows, and they're like glowing You know what I mean? Then that, and if that, it's one of those things that is attractive. It's one of those things that most likely, if you feel that was fucking, I ain't see this person in so long, and they are, they look as, the same as they were before, but even better, and so on and so forth. Then, and if you feel like, then you already know, like, yo, there's probably some changes that you got to do in your life. You feel me? If you know that, you could do better and so on and so forth, then do better. Like I said before, I always try to be better than what I was yesterday, so that tomorrow I'm better than what I was today. You know what I mean? And keep that going forward, like I've said before. So it's like, are you gonna be able, if this UAP shit at all is any real, the drones in New Jersey, or the shit that the UFO and UAP and USO um phenomena, all these UFO strange occurrences all throughout the United States and the world, if any of this shit is true at all, would you be able to have the mental capacity to, at the point where there's a conversation between you and that entity, will you be able to, okay, they are a different entity, put that aside and not be freaked the fuck out by the fact that you're still looking at a whole different entity that you've never seen before, and da da da. Can you put that aside for a second and be able to have an amicable type of communication, if any, with that entity, so that there would be no type of harm done to you or anyone with you or the planet? You know what I mean? Because it's I think it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. Pause if need be. But if you can be able to just, have a full conversation, and have, a meeting with these alien representatives, that maybe there can actually be, a future that might actually be brighter than what the fuck we're in right now, with these wars going on, or possible threat of nuclear shit. Oh man, this is some sad day shit, sad day shit. But it doesn't mean that it's the end. Straight up. As long as that button ain't pushed, we can still, be able to move. You know what I mean? Be able to live. You know what I mean? That nuclear shit is scary. You seen Chernobyl? Fuck. The Chernobyl Diaries was crazy. But, the movie, Chernobyl Diaries. But Chernobyl itself, the history, oh, hell no. And the fish right now that's there in those lakes and ponds that's in Chernobyl that are still alive and moving, oh no. And some of the woodland creatures, yeah, I said woodland creatures. Yeah, that's what you call creatures from the woods. Woodland creatures, woodland creatures. You know what I mean? For you non-English taking classes. I took English. It sucked. It sucked. But anyway, so shit like raccoons and all other type of creatures from the woods and shit, deer or whatever, like, they would be mutated in some form, way of fashion. And that survived and still around. But supposedly, from what I was hearing in the past decade, the dogs in Chernobyl right now are not as um not as not as much before as they are now. I'm forgetting the word, but basically the dogs right now in Chernobyl that they were testing, some scientists were testing, said that they're not as much right now as 5 or 10 years prior, as far as nuclear reactive, you know, exposure. Like their exposure levels were dwindling. So they're saying in the next couple 100 years, maybe we could be able to have, people, go back over there. But really, y'all want to go live in Chernobyl? Y'all want to live in Chernobyl? Hey, go ahead. You live in Chernobyl. I'm gonna be out here in the United States. I'd rather be in the United States than Chernobyl. I'll tell you that much. We, as human beings, cannot be able to drop the fucking ball. If these aliens are real and they come to us and they want to have a conversation, we cannot drop the ball. If we drop the ball, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Straight up. It's a wrap. Unless they see that the people that were talking to them were not really the ones that are representing the people of the planet. You know what I mean? Maybe they could, if motherfuckers try to be like, we run the earth or whatever, you know what I mean? What you got to say, this, da, 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 da. Oh, this, that, and the other. Like, when you speak for the people of the earth, yeah, I speak for the people of the earth, but, there could be some scummy ass motherfuckers and shit like that. And they could fuck up a good opportunity to be able to not have our planet get fucked up because somebody want to say some slick shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we run the planet. Yeah, this is our planet. What you want? Why don't you get out of here? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Like, yeah, that would fuck us up straight up. You know what I mean? But I would feel that if we, as like I said earlier, if we as a whole planet would be able to unite, at least see eye to eye, be able to, have that transparency, be able to be across the table and come up with solutions whenever problems come up, that will be able to not have arguments and complain, but be able to have conversations and not, you know, not arguments that would lead into warfare. You know what I mean? It's tough out here. It's tough out here for real. You know what I mean? This is an open discussion that I'm speaking about because we should be able to have an open discussion when we need to. And that's what I feel. Um, I'm I'm thinking I stated everything that I needed to state. I repeated a little something. Um, I repeated um my statement. I feel that I think that was good enough. I had some ideas through in there. Um, I thought of a few other things that I didn't think was gonna, happen and stuff like that. But it all, it all came together at the end. You know what I mean? So I guess that kind of all makes sense. Putting this whole entire episode together. You know what I mean? From beginning to middle end. Drones or UAPs in New Jersey, or the whole entire United States, or the whole world? Are they just drones? Are they UAPs? Are they UFOs? Like, who are they? Are they us in those? Are they other entities, other different dimensional beings, people that's in our planet? Like, we don't know. But I say the government should start. The government of the United States, I think that they should start declassifying more of their UFO and UAP document because that would help in being able to be transparent with the people of the United States. And if that would be able to be transparent with other countries, because there are things that are happening in other countries. And if we have a conversation with other countries, and we open the books, we show these instances that have happened, and their alien UFO experiences kind of match with ours. If we cross reference and see that, these experiences same as yours, as it's been happening over here, you know what? There's something to this. Let's unite. Let's be able to come up with a solution to it. You know what I mean? That's how we're going to be able to evolve. And that's like basically the whole entire episode. We as a human being, we as human beings, Homo sapien sapien, whatever they want to call it, we can be better and we can evolve. This is how we can evolve. Having that open discussion. Having an open discussion. Having an open discussion. There's three of them things. Shout out Chef Trez. But yeah, I already know. Yeah. This was a pretty long episode. It was good live. Felt good. But y'all already know. Have a great morning, great night, and all that good stuff, people. It's been a long time doing a live, so you know how to do with every episode, even on a live. Please don't drive drunk. Don't drive distracted. Don't drive high. And please don't drive with a cell phone in your hands. There are other people out there, me being one of them. So think about what I just stated. Being distracted, being drunk, being high, having a phone in your hands, these are not great things behind the wheel, going at 5 miles an hour, let alone 50, 55, 65, 75 miles on a highway. These are not great things, so please, as I say all the time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Good fracking morning, because it's a beautiful morning, so y'all better go ahead and have a great day, all right? Stay safe, people. Stay blessed. HydroMan from the Battle Rapport out. See you the next time I drop an OD, and see you next time when I drop any other new episode that'll be on YouTube. And if I say that I'm going to be on Instagram, I'm going to have some fun over there on Instagram like I was just doing over here with OD, the open discussion. You know how it is. All right, so stay safe, stay blessed. HydroMan from the Battle Rapport out. Am I good?